Do you love novels, but don't have time to read thousands of chapters? Imagine listening to your favorite stories anytime, anywhere, while driving, working, or relaxing. Here, you'll find premium audiobooks from Pocket FM, Audible, Webnovel, Wuxia, and more, all in one place. Every novel is a one-time payment, no subscriptions, no monthly fees, lifetime access. The full novel list and prices are in the description below. Once you choose a novel, just DM me on Telegram, WhatsApp, or Discord. After payment via PayPal, Ko-fi, or Patreon, you get permanent access to the audiobook on Telegram. And if the novel is ongoing, all future updates are included. Check the description, pick your story, and start listening today. Before we start the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Enjoy, and let's go.
201, Chapter 201. Mama, you can win, right? A pale, white-haired, young demon asked a female demon, sitting on a large rock. The young demon's long hair covered one eye, but the other revealed a 5 in its pupil. The female demon on the rock had numerous spider silk threads attached to her fingers, clearly controlling the demon slayers. She, too, had white hair and the same red circular markings as the young demon, though in different locations. Crucially, she was voluptuous, her clothing unable to conceal her figure. If you don't hurry, I'll tell Papa. The young demon threatened. The female demon looked terrified, clearly afraid of the young demon. Of course, Mama can. Mama will protect you. Don't tell Papa. Don't tell him, please. The curvaceous female demon pleaded frantically. Then quickly kill those who disrupt our happy life. The young demon said before leaving. The female demon, trembling, muttered, I'll have to use that puppet. You annoying things, all of you die. After putting some distance between himself and lower ranks 4 and 3, Tanjiro found his sense of smell returned. Ina shook, 2 cents, over there. Tanjiro ran towards the nearest one. A large figure stood nearby, seemingly waiting for them. I saw it first. Watch me decapitate him. Inashuk exclaimed excitedly. He leaped, aiming to strike the demon's neck from above. The demon, however, blocked with its sharp, hard, blade arm. Inashuk's Nichiren blade struck the arm, sparks flying. The demon swung its arm, sending Inashuk flying. He's headless. What do I do? What do I do? There's no vital point. Inashuk had never encountered a headless demon and didn't know how to fight it. The usual method was decapitation, but this demon had no head. Seeing Inashuk repulsed, Tanjiro stopped, choosing not to attack rashly. He, too, had never encountered a headless demon. 202, Chapter 202. Tanjiro carefully examined the headless demon, noticing it was controlled by silk threads and its arms had transformed into sharp, hard, curved blades. The headless demon attacked, swinging a blade arm towards Tanjiro and Inashuk. They leaped back, avoiding the attack. The blade embedded itself in the ground, causing cracks to spread. Inashuk, strike diagonally. From the base of the neck, right to the left waist. That might kill it. Tanjiro demonstrated with his Nichiren blade, showing the optimal cutting angle. Inashuk charged. Tanjiro yelled, wait, let's attack together. As Inashuk approached, the headless demon swung its blades. Inashuk, unable to counterattack, relied on his agility to dodge. Anyone else would have been killed. Though he dodged, Inashuk's skin was grazed, leaving cuts on his shoulder, arm, waist, and chest. Blood welled up. Fast, but not impossible to dodge. Inashuk exclaimed, unfazed by his wounds. He tried to create distance, but small spiders had already attached silk threads to his limbs, immobilizing him. He was frozen in a strange, comical pose. No, I can't move. I'm going to die. Inashuk panicked. The controlled, headless demon swung its blades to decapitate him. Tanjiro jumped in, using the flat of his blade to deflect the fatal blow. Instead of a direct confrontation, he angled his blade, redirecting the attack to the ground beside him. Seizing the opportunity, Tanjiro swung his blade down at the headless demon. 203, Chapter 203. The headless demon, reacting swiftly under the control of the silk threads, dodged Tanjiro's attack. After repelling the headless demon, Tanjiro turned and severed the silk threads binding Inashuk. Rescued, Inashuk felt a strange warmth. Inashuk, let's fight together. Let's defeat this headless demon. Tanjiro said. Ina shook, disliking the warmth, yelled, "Don't make me feel warm. Stay out of the way." He preferred fighting alone, urging Tanjiro to move. As they argued, the headless demon's blades swung towards them. They jumped back. Ina shook, cut the silk threads on the headless demon to temporarily disable it. Tanjiro instructed. He wasn't sure if the headless demon had its own consciousness. If it did, it wouldn't be controlled. If not, severing the threads would temporarily disable it, allowing for a killing blow. This was just a guess. If it remained mobile, Tanjiro would need another plan. He thought of Ryaji. Ryaji would have easily cut those threads. Ina shook slid under the swinging blades, reaching behind the headless demon and attempting to cut the silk threads, a maneuver only his flexibility allowed. However, instead of cutting, the threads caused a crack in Ina shook's Nichiren blade. "Tanjiro! I can't cut these threads!" Ina shook shouted. Tanjiro was surprised. He had cut similar threads. Ina shook should be able to as well. Were the threads on this demon special? The headless demon spun around, swinging its blades at Ina shook. Ina shook rolled away, narrowly avoiding the blades as they pierced the ground beside his ear. Tanjiro realized he couldn't dwell on the uncut threads. While the headless demon's attention was on Ina shook, he aimed for a killing blow. 204, Chapter 204. Water breathing, first form, water surface slash. As Tanjiro approached the headless demon and unleashed surface slash, the demon's torso twisted 180 degrees, bringing it face to face with Tanjiro and blocking the attack. Sparks and water flew. Tanjiro didn't deflect the attack but met force with force. This wasn't recklessness. He wanted to restrain the headless demon and create an opening for Ina shook. Ina shook, cut its arms. Tanjiro yelled, ensuring Ina shook heard him. Speaking affected his breathing, weakening his stance. The headless demon's force pushed him to one knee. Ina shook, seizing the opportunity, used the technique Tanjiro described, severing the headless demon from the neck diagonally down to the waist. The pressure vanished, and the headless demon began to disintegrate. "We did it!" Ina shook. Tanjiro exclaimed joyfully. Remembering the blood collection, he took Yoshiro's tool and collected blood from the disintegrating body. Ina shook remained frozen in his attack position. Tanjiro called out tentatively, "Ina shook." Ina shook dropped his Nichiren blade and charged at Tanjiro. Tanjiro was surprised. "What you can do, I can do too. Go, Tanjiro." Ina shook hugged Tanjiro, throwing him high into the air. Initially confused, Tanjiro realized Ina shook had thrown him towards the female demon controlling the silk threads. "You wanted to help me, Ina shook." Tanjiro realized. He adjusted his posture mid-air, preparing a downward strike. The female demon, having lost control of the headless demon, was distraught. Feeling the slack in the silk threads, her hands trembled. She despaired, muttering, "Defeated. Defeated. That puppet was my fastest, strongest. It's all that brat's fault for threatening me." I rushed. Sensing danger, she looked up. Above. Seeing Tanjiro descending for a killing blow, her eyes widened in terror. 205, Chapter 205. The giant, human-headed spider demon, hanging from the house on spider silk showed Zenitsu a grotesque smile, sending a chill down his spine. He gritted his teeth. "What are you laughing at? I have nothing to say to someone like you." Zenitsu yelled, his fear manifesting in a bizarre outburst. He turned and ran. The human-headed spider demon, not bothering to pursue, chuckled, "Running won't help. You've already lost." Incredibly, while running, Zenitsu retorted, "What are you talking about? Don't talk to me. I hate creatures like you. You've noticed, haven't you? You've already been poisoned," the demon said. Zenitsu stopped, turning back. "What are you saying? Poisoned? Look at your hand," the demon gleefully suggested. "Hand? What's wrong with my hand?" Zenitsu looked at his hand. His expression changed. His veins were bulging unnaturally, purple poison spreading across his palm. The spider bite he'd received earlier had formed a lump, looking disgusting and frightening. "What's happening?" Zenitsu asked. "You were bitten by a spider. It's my poison. It'll turn you into a human-headed spider, just like those hanging there. In 30 minutes, you'll become my slave, crawling on the ground like a spider." The human-headed spider demon laughed mockingly. Zenitsu remembered the human-headed spiders he'd seen. That was what happened after being poisoned. It was horrifying. He didn't want to become such a creature. I won't become like that. The human-headed spider demon laughed harder, using a leg to retrieve a pocket watch hanging from its neck, showing it to Zenitsu. Let me explain your transformation. Once the long hand completes a full rotation, you'll become a spider. Here, your hands and feet will go numb, your whole body aching. Here, you'll feel nauseous and dizzy. Here, you'll be in excruciating pain, your body shrinking, losing consciousness. When you wake up, you'll be a spider. Ha ha ha. The demon pointed to the times on the watch with another leg. Zenitsu screamed, his nerves completely shattered by the demon's words. 206, Chapter 206. As Zenitsu screamed, a dozen human-headed baby spiders emerged from the forest and swarmed him. Zenitsu, already on the verge of collapse, reacted by running. Seeing Zenitsu flee, the human-headed spider demon warned him again, I told you, running. Zenitsu interrupted, is useless, right? Yes, I know. You don't have to repeat it. He desperately didn't want to accept his fate, and he didn't want the demon to keep mentioning it. He quickly climbed a tree, his movements fluid and practiced, showing he often climbed trees. Ha ha ha, what are you doing? Climbing a tree. The human-headed spider demon found his actions amusing. You're so annoying. Stop talking to me. Leave me alone. Zenitsu covered his ears. Don't be so tense. Once you become a spider, you'll lose your soul and forget all your pain, the demon said, trying to reassure him. No, I don't want to become like that. Why can't you understand? Stop bothering me. Zenitsu frantically pulled at his hair. A large amount of hair came out. He froze, realizing why his hair was falling out. He remembered the baby spiders were hairless. You didn't tell me my hair would fall out, Zenitsu complained. Unable to accept the prospect of hair loss and ugliness, he fainted, hanging in a U-shape from a branch. The human-headed spider demon was puzzled. What's wrong with this guy? Isn't he a demon slayer? He fainted. Such a coward. The baby spiders climbed the tree, disturbing Zenitsu's balance. He fell headfirst. Falling headfirst, he'll die. What a pity. He won't become a spider now, the demon said mockingly. Mid-fall, Zenitsu took a deep breath. He grabbed his Nichiren blade, whispering, thunder breathing, first form thunderclap and flash. He flipped himself over, adopting a fighting stance. As he neared the ground, he pushed off a tree trunk, launching himself towards the human-headed spider demon. 207, Chapter 207. The human-headed spider demon, not a fool, saw the change and sprayed a large amount of venom at the oncoming Zenitsu. Though asleep, Zenitsu sensed the danger and performed a midair backflip, dodging the venom. The venom struck a tree trunk, corroding a hole. Zenitsu landed, cushioning the impact, and stood up. Dodging my attack in midair, what's going on? Your agility is completely different from before. The demon said, annoyed and surprised. Thunder breathing, first form, thunderclap and flash. Zenitsu, regaining his composure, assumed the stance again, ready to attack. You few, jump on him and inject more poison. The demon ordered the baby spiders. They couldn't approach Zenitsu, who easily maintained distance. The demon sprayed venom at Zenitsu's back, but he dodged with a side jump. He resumed his thunder breathing, first form stance. He's been in the same stance the whole time, ha ha ha. He only knows one technique. The demon realized. It's okay, Zenitsu. This is enough. Knowing one technique is good. If you only do one thing, do it perfectly. Master this technique. Zenitsu recalled his grandfather's teachings. Kaka kaka, the demon laughed mockingly. This guy's trash. So weak, and yet a demon slayer. Checking its pocket watch, the demon exclaimed, the poison should be paralyzing him now. Zenitsu was indeed nearly immobile. His hand holding the Nichiren blade trembled. However, the blade crackled with electricity, poised to unleash its power. The demon sprayed venom again, testing Zenitsu's mobility. Zenitsu dodged, but the baby spiders attacked. Bite him. Inject more poison. The demon commanded. The spiders lunged, their needle-like tongues piercing towards Zenitsu. 208, Chapter 208. Zenitsu leaped back, putting distance between himself and the baby spiders. Their needle-like tongues struck the ground. However, the poison began to affect him. Before he even landed, he spat out a mouthful of blood. He stumbled, his hand gripping his Nicaran blade to steady himself. Seizing the opportunity, the baby spiders swarmed him, completely engulfing him. The human-headed spider demon laughed, enjoying its apparent victory. But as the spiders surrounded Zenitsu, their outer layer crackled with lightning. A massive burst of energy erupted from their center, sending all the spiders flying. The powerful energy severed the demon's silk threads, causing it to fall to the ground. Zenitsu was now surrounded by electricity, the air vibrating violently. The energy had clearly originated from him. He regained his footing, resuming his thunder-breathing, first-form stance. His eyes snapped open, glowing intensely, striking fear into the demon. The atmosphere intensified, further cracks spread across the ground beneath his feet, scattering debris. Thunder-breathing, first form, thunderclap and flash, sixfold. This time, instead of stalling, Zenitsu attacked decisively. The human-headed spider demon, sensing the shift in momentum, used its spinneret to shoot silk back to its wooden house, suspending itself in mid-air. It spat venom, but Zenitsu, transforming into a yellow streak of lightning, dodged easily. The demon couldn't track him, only seeing a fast-moving yellow blur. Terrified, it retreated into the house, but before it could react, Zenitsu, as a bolt of lightning, struck the roof, shattering it. His energy dissipated. He remained in the thunderclap and flash stance, but unlike before, his blade was now drawn, faint arcs of electricity still flickering on it. From the vantage point of the ruined roof, Zenitsu had also brought down the human-headed spider demon, its head now separated from its massive body. With a final, powerful strike, he had decapitated it. 209, Chapter 209. Water breathing, first form, water surface slash. Tanjiro, descending from the high ground, unleashed water surface slash on the female demon, sitting on the rock. Water splashed from his blade. I'm going to die. Think of something. Quickly. The terrified demon's mind raced. But if I die, I'll be free. Amidst her racing thoughts and emotions, she found acceptance of death. She opened her arms to Tanjiro's attack and closed her eyes. Her face showed no fear, only a strange serenity. The joy on her face hinted at a life of profound despair. Tanjiro, surprised by her change, altered his technique to water breathing, fifth form, blessed rain after the drought. Water breathing, fifth form, blessed rain after the drought. This technique doesn't rely on muscular force, its power comes from the water's rhythmic flow on the blade. The angle is different from surface slash, with a slight incline. Lacking explosive power, it's not the most practical of the 10 forms. However, blessed rain after the drought has a unique characteristic: it causes no pain. While often considered less useful, Tanjiro's compassion led him to use it. Other water-breathing users likely wouldn't be so considerate. The change in technique made the cut exceptionally gentle. Water splashed onto the demon's neck. As Tanjiro's foot landed, his blade completed the cut. Tiny raindrops fell, as if it were raining. The raindrops on her face brought a long-lost warmth, as if her life had been for this moment. Her head fell back. She died with a serene smile, finally at peace. Her body, remaining seated, slowly turned to ash. Tanjiro sheathed his blade. Before the body completely vanished, he used Yushiro's blood collection tool to extract blood. Tanjiro felt a mix of emotions. He didn't understand her acceptance of death, but he felt the emotion she expressed, a blend of sadness and relief, difficult to put into words. 210, Chapter 210. Such complex emotions were unexpected from a female demon. Tanjiro, however, chose to end her life. While her past might have been tragic, it didn't excuse the many demon slayers she'd killed. He didn't spare her because of the weight of her sins. Death was her final destination, a choice she had made. Rue is among the 12 Kazuki. Be careful. She warned before completely disintegrating. Tanjiro wanted to ask more, but it was too late. She was gone. The blood collection tool rolled to his feet. He picked it up. Meow. A meow came from behind. Tanjiro turned to see Yushiro's delivery cat. He knelt down and petted it. It's you. Are you here to take the blood back to Miss Tamayo? Tanjiro asked happily. The cat rubbed against his hand and presented its small backpack, indicating he should place the blood samples inside. Okay. Tanjiro patted the cat's head and placed the 2 blood samples in the backpack. Go quickly. Be careful on your way, he said. The cat meowed and left. Tanjiro pondered the demon's last words. Rue is among the 12 Kazuki. Be careful. Was Rue lower rank 4 or 3? Or another of the 12 Kazuki? Inashuk arrived, asking, Tanjiro, did you take care of the other demon? Tanjiro, snapping out of his thoughts, nodded. Yes. He noticed Inashuk's wounds from the fight with the headless demon. More importantly, are you okay, Inashuk? Your wounds are bleeding. Inashuk, hands on his hips, declared, don't worry about me. I'll always be better and stronger than you. Soon, my head will be harder than yours. Let's spar again later. Tanjiro, understanding Inashuk's pride, offered bandages. Inashuk refused, not wanting to appear weak. Inashuk, don't move. Stop it. I don't need it. Let's go find more demons to kill. Let's see who kills more. Inashuk ran off. 211, Chapter 211. Hearing this, Tanjiro remembered Ryaji and the Shinichi brothers. With the silk-controlling, female demon defeated, the brothers should be free. He needed to regroup with them. After reuniting with the Shinichi brothers, Tanjiro planned to retrace their steps and find Ryaji. He was unsure of his situation. He caught up with Inashuk. Inashuk, don't wander off. We need to meet up with Shinji and then find Ryaji-senpai. Soon, Tanjiro and Inashuk rejoined the Shinichi brothers at their previous encounter point. They were tending to the surviving slayers. While fortunate to be alive, their injuries were severe and irreversible. Shinji, overjoyed to see them, noticed Inashuk's injuries. Inashuk, are you all right? Go away, I don't need your concern. Inashuk dismissed him. Shinji's kindness was met with coldness, leaving him embarrassed and speechless. Tanjiro stepped in, mediating. Inashuk is strong, you don't need to worry so much. How is the situation here? How many slayers survived? Tanjiro asked, changing the subject. Shinji sighed, only 2 survived, but their injuries are critical. They might last a few hours. Without treatment, they'll die. Tanjiro felt despair. Only 2 survivors, a disappointing outcome. Did you see Ryaji-senpai? Tanjiro asked. Shinji shook his head, indicating no. Tanjiro was puzzled. Was Ryaji-senpai still fighting the 2 lower-ranked demons? Had he led them elsewhere? Or had he perished with them? He considered various possibilities, growing increasingly worried about Ryaji. He briefly examined the 2 survivors. One was the female slayer who had warned them earlier. She had no visible wounds, but most of her bones were broken, far worse than before. Seeing their condition, Tanjiro thought of Ryaji. If he were here, he could use his abilities to temporarily alleviate their suffering. Inashuk, can you use your spatial awareness to find Ryaji-senpai? Tanjiro asked. The mountain scents were too complex for his nose to detect Ryaji's presence. He wasn't sure if Ryaji was still at their initial encounter point with the Shinichi brothers. Inashuk used beast breathing, 7th form, spatial awareness, to sense the nearby area. After a short while, he withdrew his hand, stood up, and said, there's no other life activity nearby. 212, Chapter 212. Inashuk's reply filled Tanjiro with disappointment. If Ryaji wasn't nearby, where could he be? The 2 lower-ranked demons hadn't appeared. Had Ryaji truly fought them to the death? His worry intensified. If that were the case, he had to find Ryaji's remains. Shinji, please look after the survivors. Inashuk and I will search for Ryaji-senpai. Be careful. Tanjiro informed Shinji. Shinji nodded, offering no objections. Shinichi, meanwhile, no longer underestimated Tanjiro's group, especially Ryaji. Although Ryaji hadn't reappeared since their separation, Shinichi had considered the possibility of his death. However, the absence of the 2 lower-ranked demons suggested Ryaji's exceptional strength. The absence of both Ryaji and the 2 lower-ranked demons indicated several possibilities. Ryaji had fought them to the death. The demons had fled after witnessing Ryaji's strength, or Ryaji had strategically retreated and was now being pursued. Regardless, Ryaji had successfully contained or eliminated the demons, showcasing formidable strength. Shinichi wouldn't doubt Ryaji's capabilities as a Hashira. Tanjiro and Inashuk returned to their separation point. They only found the silk-controlled corpses and the devastation of a fierce battle. The cracked ground and damaged trees evidenced a brutal fight between Ryaji and the 2 lower-ranked demons. Tanjiro surveyed the bodies, searching for the man in the blue water-patterned robe and creamy white hair. He called out loudly, Ryaji-senpai. Receiving no answer, he carefully examined each corpse. Despite Ryaji's distinctive appearance, Tanjiro checked each body thoroughly. Finding no sign of Ryaji among the dead, Tanjiro felt a surge of relief. The probability of Ryaji's death was low. While he considered the possibility of Ryaji being eaten, if that were true, the lower-ranked demons would have targeted him next. Their absence suggested their fate was also uncertain. This strengthened Tanjiro's belief that Ryaji had survived. Ina shook, let's search for Ryaji-senpai. He's definitely still alive. Tanjiro suggested. 213, Chapter 213. Ina shook readily agreed, excitedly saying, Tanjiro, let's go find some demons to kill. We're looking for Ryaji-senpai, not demons. Tanjiro reiterated. While unsure if they'd encounter more demons, finding Ryaji was his priority. Their argument led them away from the battlefield, leaving the deceased slayers unburied. Unseen, Ryaji watched from the top of a tall tree as Tanjiro and Ina shook departed. He deliberately avoided them because he wanted Tanjiro to face the upcoming challenges alone, while he secretly protected him and Nezuko. If Ryaji appeared, even passively, Tanjiro's mental state would differ from when he was alone. Only Ryaji's absence would allow Tanjiro to utilize his full potential, as his subconscious would tell him he was solely responsible. With Ryaji present, even without intervention, Tanjiro's subconscious would rely on him as backup, hindering his performance and preventing him from reaching his full potential. As Tanjiro and Ina shook searched near a river, Ina shook prepared to cross on exposed rocks when Tanjiro stopped him. Ina shook, I want to check over there. Go ahead. Let's split up, we'll have a better chance of finding Ryaji, Ina shook suggested. Tanjiro, surprised, asked, Ina shook, are you sure you can manage alone with your injuries? I think you shouldn't be alone. Ina shook became furious. You're the one who can't manage. Stop underestimating me. I'm stronger than you. During their argument, they heard trampled grass from across the river. They both looked. A pale, white-haired woman with red markings on her face appeared, similar to the female demon Tanjiro had killed, but younger, appearing to be around Tanjiro's age. A demon. The whole mountain is filled with scents, and I didn't notice it. Tanjiro exclaimed in surprise. The young demon, upon seeing them, looked surprised and nervous. Yeah, I'll slaughter you, you despicable demon. Ina shook, excited, shouted and waved his arms. The demon, however, turned and fled, seemingly terrified of them. 214, Chapter 214. My children have been decimated. There might be a member of the 12 Kazuki on Mount Nadagumo. We need to send a Hashira. The speaker was a refined man, the current head of the Demon Slayer Corps, and Ryaji's future father-in-law. In his hand lay a near-dead crow, exhausted from its urgent flight to deliver the message. Beside him stood Kanroji Mitsurai and her identical twin sister. The twin wasn't the dark-haired boy who had attended the final selection on Fujikazan Mountain. The twin sister, like Mitsurai, had white hair, differing only in the color of her hair ornament. Their features were identical. After speaking, Mitsurai and her twin looked towards the house. Inside, Tomioka Jiyu and a girl knelt on the tatami mats, awaiting instructions. The head of the corps sat on the outdoor walkway, seemingly enjoying the cool air and the garden view. Jiyu, Shinobu. The matter is entrusted to you. Understood. Tomioka Jiyu and the girl, Shinobu, replied in unison. If only demons and humans could coexist peacefully. Jiyu, don't you think? Shinobu initiated a conversation. As long as demons eat humans, it's impossible, Jiyu replied flatly. Tomioka Jiyu and Shinobu, dispatched by the head of the corps, swiftly traveled to Mount Nadagumo. Shinobu was a beautiful woman with a large butterfly ornament in her hair, giving a cute and playful impression. Her petite figure gave the illusion of fragility. Upon reaching the mountain, they entered. Soon, they arrived at a site with many dead slayers. Jiyu examined the area and stopped. Shinobu asked, do you recognize anyone? There seemed to be no survivors nearby. According to the Crow Network, several new Dingrank slayers were sent in before our arrival. They might be dead as well, Shinobu continued, noticing Jiyu's silence. Let's go, Jiyu said, understanding her implication. This was why he examined the bodies. A crow had already dispatched the Mount Nadagumo mission before Jiyu and Shinobu's intervention. Ryaji, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Ina shook were the ones assigned. Knowing Ryaji and Tanjiro were involved, Jiyu, though outwardly calm, worried about their safety. As their senior, he naturally hoped they were alive. 215, Chapter 215. Stop right there. Inashuk, seeing the female demon fleeing, immediately gave chase. Tanjiro, witnessing Inashuk's impulsiveness, tried to call out, "Inashuk." But Inashuk ignored him. A demon was within reach, and he couldn't restrain himself. The fleeing female demon, seeing Inashuk approaching, cried out in alarm, "Papa." Inashuk, mistaking her for addressing him, replied, "Who's your papa? I'm not even a grown man yet." As soon as he finished speaking, a shadow fell over him, as if something immense was descending. Inashuk stopped and looked up. "Danger! Inashuk!" Tanjiro shouted. Inashuk looked up to see a gigantic figure looming above, descending with immense pressure. Inashuk leaped backward. The figure landed, sending a massive wave crashing through the river. The figure shook its long white hair, revealing a terrifying face, a spider-like visage. The being the female demon had called Papa was a spider-faced demon. This spider-faced demon possessed an enormous physique, far larger and more robust than the headless demon they had previously encountered. Aik. The spider-faced demon let out a warning roar, then spoke, "Don't approach my family." It swung its powerful arm, delivering a lightning-fast punch toward Inashuk. Inashuk leaped back, narrowly avoiding the blow. The demon's fist smashed the rock Inashuk had just left, shattering it and sending up a huge spray of water. "I'll leave it to you, Papa." The female demon murmured, disappearing into the dense forest. The spider-faced demon, having missed, delivered another punch at the still airborne Inashuk. Inashuk, midair, was unable to dodge again. Realizing Inashuk's danger, Tanjiro crouched, leaped, and landed above them. Water breathing, second form, water wheel. He drew his Nichiren blade and, using a spinning attack, struck the spider-faced demon's arm aimed at Inashuk. To Tanjiro's surprise, his blade didn't sever the arm but became embedded in the demon's flesh. 216, Chapter 216. Such a hard arm. My Nichiren blade couldn't cut it. Tanjiro was astonished. He'd never encountered a demon whose body was impervious to his blade. If the arms were unbreakable, the neck would likely be as well. For a demon slayer, an inability to sever a demon's neck was a death sentence. The spider-faced demon, having been attacked, abandoned Inashuk and targeted Tanjiro. Without hesitation, it swung its other arm at Tanjiro. Still reeling from the shock and struggling against the demon, Tanjiro had no time to react. At the critical moment, Inashuk swung his blades, striking the demon's wrist, deflecting the attack. The result was the same as Tanjiro's. Inashuk couldn't sever the arm, only making a shallow cut. Such a hard arm. Inashuk gritted his teeth, maintaining pressure. If he relaxed, Tanjiro would be hit. The spider-faced demon, restrained by Tanjiro and Inashuk, unleashed a burst of energy, sending them both flying. Tanjiro landed on a rock partially submerged in the water. Inashuk fell into the river. "Don't approach my family." The demon roared, charging at Tanjiro. Tanjiro, without hesitation, leaped sideways toward the riverbank. The demon's punch shattered the rock where Tanjiro had been standing. Because Tanjiro had sidestepped instead of jumping back, the demon couldn't follow up. This was a lesson learned from Inashuk: never allow a direct confrontation. Within its range, resistance was futile. "My attacks are useless. What do I do? What should I do?" Tanjiro worried on the riverbank. If they could damage the demon, they could use strategy and Inashuk's strength to defeat it. But they couldn't inflict effective damage, leaving Tanjiro frustrated. "Where are you looking? I'm your opponent. Take this." Inashuk, seeing the demon attack Tanjiro, became annoyed. He felt disrespected. His pride couldn't tolerate being underestimated. He climbed out of the water and leaped into the air, using gravity to deliver a powerful strike. 217, Chapter 217. The spider-faced demon swung an arm at Inashuk. Inashuk, attacking from the air, couldn't dodge. Although his blade struck the arm, the demon's force sent Inashuk flying. He skipped across the water like a stone before sinking about 20 meters from the demon. After a moment, Inashuk emerged, groaning in pain. "That was powerful. A hit to a vital point would have killed me. That attack wasn't strong enough. I'm dizzy from blood loss." Inashuk had indeed struck the demon, but the difference in strength was too great. He was sent flying the moment he made contact. With greater strength, he wouldn't have been thrown. Inashuk's attack drew the demon's attention. It ignored Tanjiro and charged at Inashuk. Damn it! Inashuk cursed, choosing to retreat. While fleeing wasn't his style, he wasn't foolish. Against such a powerful opponent, retreat was the only option, a survival instinct. Tanjiro followed along the riverbank. Seeing the demon close in on Inashuk, Tanjiro needed a way to restrain it. After some thought, he devised a plan. He calculated the trajectory and sprinted toward a large tree. Water breathing, first form, water surface slash. He struck the tree trunk at a 45-degree angle. This angled cut would speed up the fall and control its direction. The tree began to fall toward the river. Without precise calculation, this tactic could have failed or injured Inashuk. Thump! The massive tree crashed onto the demon, submerging it. A huge wave and spray erupted. Inashuk, close to the tree, was knocked into the water. Tanjiro's calculations were correct. The tree both restrained the demon and didn't harm Inashuk. Resurfacing, Inashuk stared at the fallen tree, which now blocked the river. What happened? Inashuk was bewildered. Why had the tree fallen? Inashuk, are you all right? Tanjiro's concerned voice reached him. Inashuk looked and saw Tanjiro standing near the base of the felled tree. He did that? Not bad. Damn it. Inashuk grudgingly acknowledged Tanjiro's skill. 218, Chapter 218. Inashuk's resentment stemmed from feeling rescued by Tanjiro again, always seeming to be one step behind. I told you, I don't need your concern. I could have handled it myself. Inashuk stubbornly insisted. Seeing Inashuk's ability to retort, Tanjiro felt relieved and focused on the spider-faced demon trapped under the tree. The submerged demon struggled violently, causing the water to churn and bubble furiously. Seeing the demon restrained, Tanjiro planned to kill it. Perfect opportunity. I'll use water breathing, 10th form, that should sever its neck. He focused, adjusted his breathing, and jumped into the water toward the trapped demon. Total concentration, water breathing, 10th form. Before he finished, the demon, breaking free from the tree, roared and emerged from the water, tree trunk in hand. It swung the massive tree trunk like a baseball bat at Tanjiro. Tanjiro was sent flying like a baseball, soaring into the distance. Fortunately, he'd redirected the attack meant for the demon's neck onto the tree trunk, lessening the impact. Otherwise, the blow would have been fatal or at least debilitating. Tanjiro! Inashuk shouted, worried as Tanjiro flew like a cannonball. He'd felt the force of the blow and feared Tanjiro was severely injured. Inashuk, don't die before I get back. Tanjiro warned, knowing he'd fly a considerable distance. He'd felt the demon's overwhelming strength and speed, which surpassed his and Inashuk's. As Tanjiro disappeared into the forest, Inashuk was at a loss. The spider-faced demon charged toward Inashuk. Sensing the danger, the flustered Inashuk instinctively fled instead of fighting. 219, Chapter 219. Ryaji, observing from the shadows, saw Tanjiro sent flying. However, instead of immediately pursuing Tanjiro, he chose to protect Inashuk, who would likely be overwhelmed without Tanjiro. Ryaji secretly followed Inashuk and the spider-faced demon. If Inashuk escaped, Ryaji would finish off the demon. He could also test the limits of his enhanced strength using his ultimate breathing technique. To Ryaji's surprise, Inashuk stopped running, berating himself. What am I doing? Thinking isn't my style. It's all Tanjiro's fault. He threw off my rhythm. He turned and charged at the demon, striking it with his blades. The demon tried to overpower Inashuk as before. However, Inashuk's power was sufficient to resist. He couldn't sever the arm, but this time he changed tactics. After missing with one blade, he immediately struck with the other. The second strike deepened the wound, causing the demon to cry out in pain. If one cut won't do it, then 2, 3, until it breaks. Inashuk roared, striking repeatedly without pause. On the third strike, he severed the demon's forearm. I cut it off. I'm better than Tanjiro. I did what he couldn't. Inashuk boasted. With one arm severed, the demon covered its wound and retreated. Inashuk, still boasting, gave chase, grumbling, where do you think you're going? Damn it, stop. The demon quickly disappeared. Ryaji, sensing something was amiss, knew Inashuk's pursuit was dangerous. Following the demon's trail, Inashuk found no sign of it and grew anxious. He used spatial awareness to sense his surroundings. He suddenly looked toward a nearby tree, exclaiming, "It's in the tree." He saw the demon, clinging to a high branch, groaning in pain, as if tortured. "You idiot, what are you doing up there?" Inashuk yelled at the demon. 220, Chapter 220. Can't we get along on this rare mission together? Shinobu, observing Jiyu's coldness, complained. Her voice was soft and incredibly alluring. Only Jiyu, emotionally unresponsive, remained unaffected. Others would have been captivated. Jiyu responded flatly, "I'm only here to kill demons. Other matters are irrelevant." "So cold." Shinobu sighed. "Giving up on pleasantries," she said, "then let's split up here. I'll go west." She quickly separated from Jiyu. Jiyu, without lingering, chose a different direction to thoroughly search Spider Mountain. Meanwhile, Zenitsu, having slain the human-headed spider demon, was completely paralyzed by the poison. He fell from the sky, landing on the hut's roof, near death. The human-headed spider demon, belatedly realizing its decapitation, hadn't had time to react to Zenitsu's incredibly fast attack. "Damn it! I was killed by such a weakling!" It shrieked before its final demise. Zenitsu, falling onto the roof, vomited blood from his mouth and nose. He then groggily awoke. The first thing he saw was the large, bright full moon hanging in the sky, adorned with glittering stars, a breathtaking sight. "I think I had a dream, a happy dream. In it, I was strong, like Ryaji-senpai, helping the weak and those in need. Grandpa's teachings weren't wasted. But I'm about to become a spider. I won't see Nezuko again, nor Ryaji-senpai, Tanjiro, Inashuk, or Grandpa." Zenitsu's heart ached. His sparrow landed before him, chirping anxiously. "Chirp, Taro. I'm sorry, I can't stay with you," Zenitsu managed, his eyes welling up. The sparrow, clearly distressed, flew away, likely to seek help. "Don't give up, you're my proudest child. Never give up easily." In his semi-conscious state, Zenitsu seemed to hear his grandfather's words. "That's right. I'm going to marry Nezuko. I can't give up." Zenitsu rallied himself. He began to breathe deeply, using thunder breathing to try and slow the poison spread. 221, Chapter 221. "You want me to climb a tree to fight you? I'm not going to waste time figuring out how to climb a tree. I'm not thinking anymore." Inashuk, ignoring the demon's intentions, decided to stay below. The spider-faced demon ignored him, groaning in pain. Its body trembled violently, accompanied by the sound of breaking bones. "What's wrong with this idiot?" Inashuk was puzzled by the demon's tremors. "Is it shaking in fear of me?" he wondered. He laughed triumphantly. "It's too late to be scared now." As he boasted, the demon let out a deafening roar. Its skin began to tear, as if another creature resided within. The skin finally burst, and the demon's body swelled, growing from over 2 meters to nearly 3. Sharp spines sprouted from its arms. The molted, larger demon leaped from the tree and stood before Inashuk. Inashuk's earlier confidence vanished, replaced by instinctive fear. He trembled. It got way too big. "This is the first time I've felt such intense pressure from an enemy. The pressure alone is almost crushing me. I'm going to die." At the peak of his fear, Inashuk relaxed, his blades falling. He accepted death. Then, Tanjiro's words echoed in his mind. "Inashuk, don't die before I get back." "Right. I can't die yet. I haven't settled the score with Tanjiro." "Bring it on, you trash." Inashuk's fighting spirit rekindled. The enhanced demon punched Inashuk with even greater speed. Inashuk was sent flying, crashing into a tree trunk and falling to the ground. Before he could recover, the demon was upon him, delivering another punch. Inashuk, maintaining his breath, used it to dodge. He leaped and flipped behind the demon. Seizing the opportunity, he attacked. Beast breathing, third Fang, devour. His blades crossed, striking the demon's neck. Sparks flew. Clang. His blade snapped. 222, Chapter 222. The blade snapping surprised Inashuk. His Nichiren blades were broken. The weapons that had just wounded the demon were now useless, highlighting the enhanced strength of the molted, spider-faced demon. The moment the blades broke, the demon swung its arm, sending Inashuk flying again. This time, the consecutive blows overwhelmed Inashuk. He fell and couldn't get up. The demon approached, grabbed Inashuk's head, and lifted him. "Don't approach my family," it repeated. Knowing he couldn't escape, Inashuk attacked with his remaining strength. Beast breathing, first form, piercing. He thrust the broken blades at the demon's neck. The damaged blades pierced the throat but had no effect. The demon squeezed Inashuk's head, seemingly intending to crush it. Water breathing, 11th form, water surface slash. Ryaji, observing from the shadows, intervened, using water surface slash. A sharp blade of water severed the demon's arm, freeing Inashuk, who fell along with the severed arm. Ryaji approached, but Tomioka Jiyu arrived first, attacking the demon. Water breathing, 4th form, striking tide. Jiyu's attack instantly dismembered the demon, swiftly killing it. Ryaji withdrew. Jiyu's presence was unexpected. Had the Demon Slayer Corps' top ranks intervened? Jiyu, though he'd killed the demon, was puzzled it wasn't he who'd saved Inashuk. Sheathing his blade, Jiyu looked around but sensed no one nearby. Ryaji had concealed his presence, which was natural given his intention to remain hidden. Inashuk, awestruck by Jiyu's skill, thought, amazing, unmatched. It cut that tough monster down in one hit, like cutting a cabbage. Jiyu knew finding the person who'd saved Inashuk wouldn't be easy. He sensed no killing intent and the actions demonstrated a desire to save Inashuk. He abandoned the search. 223, Chapter 223. Jiyu, having no intention of engaging with Inashuk, decided to continue searching unexplored areas. Inashuk, seeing Jiyu turn to leave, called out, "Wait. Fight me, Tomioka Jiyu. You defeated that tough monster, now I'll beat you, proving I'm stronger." Jiyu, turning to the defiant Inashuk, calmly replied, "Go train, you pig." "What? I'm not a pig." Inashuk, angered by the insult, retorted. Jiyu continued, his tone even, "You don't even know how badly you're injured. If you keep this up, you'll die in minutes without my intervention." Sensing Inashuk's restless nature, Jiyu produced a rope from his belt. Inashuk fell silent, recognizing Jiyu's tone as similar to Ryaji's. He grumbled, "You sound exactly like Ryaji-senpai. So annoying." Jiyu, unaware that Ryaji-senpai referred to Ryaji, ignored him. While Inashuk spoke, Jiyu swiftly and silently bound him with the rope and hung him from a tree. Jiyu then patted his hands and prepared to leave. Inashuk, realizing his situation, exclaimed in a trembling voice, "What? How did he tie me up? This guy's too fast." Seeing Jiyu walk away, Inashuk became frantic. "Hey, don't go. Untie me. I still need to fight demons." Jiyu, without turning back, replied calmly, "With your injuries, fighting is out of the question. Keep yelling, and you can peacefully go to heaven in a few minutes." After confirming Jiyu's departure, Ryaji appeared before Inashuk. Inashuk, excited, called out, "Ryaji-senpai, you're here. Quickly untie me. Tanjiro and I have been looking for you. Just stay put. I'll return after dealing with Tanjiro," Ryaji said. He then used wood breathing to protect Inashuk's heart and temporarily stabilize his injuries. Sensing Inashuk's condition through wood breathing, Ryaji could only describe it as horrific. Inashuk was in grave danger, only his robust constitution was preventing him from dying. With the wood breathing's restorative energy, Inashuk coughed up a large amount of blood. After coughing up the blood, Inashuk felt a sudden release of tension and fell into a deep sleep. 224, Chapter 224. The spider-faced demon sent Tanjiro flying hundreds of meters with a powerful blow. Reaching his highest point, he began a rapid descent towards a dense forest. The force of the impact propelled him at around 70 kilometers per hour. Landing at that speed without any mitigation would be unsurvivable. Tanjiro needed to reduce his speed before impact. After a moment's consideration, he decided to use water breathing, 8th form, waterfall basin, destruction, to lessen the impact. Water breathing, 8th form, waterfall basin, destruction. About 10 meters from the ground, Tanjiro activated the technique, slashing his blade downwards towards the earth. The moment the blade struck, a large volume of water erupted, cascading downwards and impacting the ground, providing significant cushioning and mitigating much of the impact force. However, waterfall basin alone wouldn't ensure a safe landing. As the technique was halfway through, Tanjiro transitioned to water breathing, 2nd form, water wheel, using the momentum to flip himself. He created a circular water blade, rolling across the ground several times before landing, somewhat gracelessly but safely. Upon landing, he heard a girl crying and begging nearby, instantly making him tense. Intrigued, Tanjiro followed the sound, quickly hiding behind a tree trunk. He saw the fleeing, female demon, the source of the cries, kneeling before a white-haired boy with a number 5 on his eye. Her hands covered her face, blood continuously dripping down. "What are you spying on? This isn't a show for your amusement." The boy, noticing Tanjiro, turned towards the tree. Tanjiro, surprised his careful concealment had failed, stepped out from behind the tree. Their gazes locked, creating an unsettling atmosphere. Tanjiro immediately saw the number 5 in one of the boy's pupils, his expression turning grave. A sudden, chilling wind blew, lifting the hair that had been covering the boy's other eye, revealing another number. Tanjiro gasped, his entire body tensing. The white-haired boy was lower rank 5 of the 12 Kazuki. Tanjiro recalled the warning from the female demon he'd killed. "Rui is among the 12 Kazuki. Be careful." Could this boy be Rui? The fear emanating from this female demon was identical to the previous one. Could their fear be directed at this lower rank 5 demon boy? 225, Chapter 225. Why are you doing this to her? As fellow beings, why are you hurting each other? Especially since she's a girl. In that tense moment, Tanjiro, impulsively, spoke up for the abused, female demon. Only Tanjiro's extreme kindness would lead him to such a statement. Who else would show concern for a demon? The female demon visibly flinched, seemingly surprised and perhaps even moved by Tanjiro's words. She glanced at him. A demon slayer showing compassion for a demon? In the demon's eyes, it was a miracle. Fellow beings. Lower rank 5, toying with a spider web he'd woven, scoffed. Don't compare us to those with weak ties. My sister and I are family, bound by a powerful connection. Besides, this is between my sister and me. If you meddle, I'll cut you to pieces. Lower rank 5 suddenly lunged towards Tanjiro, a thin strand of spider silk shooting from his finger. The silk sliced through a nearby tree trunk, causing it to fall. The display of power sent shivers down Tanjiro's spine. A single touch of that silk would have been fatal. Tanjiro gritted his teeth, determined to correct the demon's warped thinking. That's not true. Whether family or not, bonds are precious. A lack of blood relation doesn't mean weak bonds. That's wrong. And those bound by strong ties emanate trust. But from you two, I only sense fear, hatred, and disgust. That's not a bond, it's twisted, a false bond. Tanjiro's words shattered the illusion of a loving family that lower rank 5 had constructed. Lower rank 5 was plunged into despair, his carefully maintained facade crumbling. His expression turned dark and sinister. "You brat." Before he could finish, a demon slayer emerged from the nearby woods. His uniform bore a canoe, indicating a rank 2 levels above Tanjiro's. Oh, finally, some demons. 2 of them, even. These little demon brats will be easy to handle. The canoe slayer, excited, drew his sword, ready to strike. His confidence stemmed from his inability to gauge lower rank 5's strength and a misjudgment of the situation. He assumed Tanjiro had already fought the demons and, knowing Tanjiro was a low-ranking Mizuno rank slayer, felt even more confident. Wait! Tanjiro urgently tried to stop the slayer, knowing the boy before them was no ordinary demon, but a member of the 12 Kazuki. 226, Chapter 226. Get out of my way. My team was almost completely wiped out, and if I don't kill any demons on this mission, I'll be demoted, losing my hefty salary. So, I'll take those 2 little demons' heads for you. The Kanurank Slayer, thinking Tanjiro wanted to steal the kills, spoke dismissively. He charged towards lower rank 5. Tanjiro immediately shouted, "Dangerous. Stop." But his warning was ignored. In the next instant, lower rank 5, with a flick of his wrist, launched a spider web at the Kanurank Slayer. The web sliced through the Slayer's body, dismembering his upper half. The gruesome sight stunned Tanjiro, leaving him horrified. This was the true power of a Kazuki. Instant dismemberment. Tanjiro recalled his fight with Kyugai, understanding why Kyugai had been stripped of his Kazuki rank. After dispatching the Kanurank Slayer, lower rank 5 coldly asked Tanjiro, "What did you say? Answer me." Tanjiro felt the oppressive presence of lower rank 5 intensify. He began to doubt himself, could he defeat a true Kazuki member like he had Kyugai? In a shook, "Please be alright." Tanjiro worried about Ina shook. Given the situation, he knew he couldn't return immediately. Didn't you hear me? Answer me. Repeat what you said. Lower rank 5 demanded. Fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Your bond is fake. You don't act like a family should. Tanjiro took a deep breath and continued. As he finished speaking, lower rank 5's silk threads shot towards Tanjiro. He dodged with incredible speed, but still suffered cuts to his face and forehead. Faced with lower rank 5's relentless attacks, Tanjiro could only dodge, but his speed was insufficient, resulting in more cuts. Finally, the barrage of attacks disrupted Tanjiro's breathing, forcing him to pant and regain his composure. Lower rank 5 suddenly ceased his attack, looking at the battered Tanjiro. Let me make this clear, I won't kill you quickly. I'll tear you apart piece by piece. However, if you retract your previous words, I'll give you a swift death. I won't take back my words, because I'm right, and you're wrong. Tanjiro's unwavering nature wouldn't allow him to compromise his beliefs. As Tanjiro's angry shout echoed, a wind stirred around them. 227, Chapter 227. A gust of wind dispersed much of the strong demon scent in the area, lingering near Tanjiro's battle. Feeling the decrease in the scent's intensity, Tanjiro's spirits rose. Truly, heaven is on my side. The acrid smell has lessened, allowing me to better discern the silk threads, enabling me to better counter lower rank 5's attacks. More stubborn than I anticipated, but it changes nothing, lower rank 5 muttered to himself. With the wind's assistance, Tanjiro, having regulated his breathing, launched a proactive attack on lower rank 5. Lower rank 5 retaliated with a barrage of silk threads, but Tanjiro, now able to sense their trajectory, easily leaped into the air, preemptively dodging the attack. Lower rank 5 didn't let up, launching another thread towards Tanjiro's landing spot as he descended. Tanjiro countered with water breathing, first form, water surface slash. He aimed to sever the thread with water surface slash and then strike lower rank 5's neck. However, reality fell short of expectations. Tanjiro's Nichiren blade, upon contact with the silk thread, snapped with a clang. Stunned, Tanjiro was jolted into action by a sudden sense of danger. He twisted his body to the side as much as possible. Despite his evasive maneuver, a long, deep cut appeared on his cheek from the silk thread. He tumbled to the ground, rolling several times. Tanjiro quickly got back on his feet, resuming his fighting stance. Looking at his broken Nichiren blade, Tanjiro's resolve faltered. What now? My blade is broken. If it were Ryaji-senpai, this wouldn't have happened. Since my blade can't cut his silk, I'll dodge the threads, get close, and then sever his neck. He decided to approach lower rank 5 again. Lower rank 5, anticipating this, intensified his silk attacks, forcing Tanjiro to dodge constantly. Tanjiro only managed to close the distance slightly. Having drawn Tanjiro into a trap, lower rank 5 decided to end the game. He pulled all the silk threads from his hands, forming a massive spiderweb that descended from above. No, I can't dodge it. Tanjiro looked up at the descending web in despair. At that critical moment, Nezuko burst from the fog-bound cedar box, flipping and spreading her arms to shield Tanjiro. Lower rank 5's web of razor-sharp silk threads fell upon Nezuko, instantly inflicting numerous deep cuts, and a torrent of blood erupted from the wounds. 228, Chapter 228. Lower rank 5 was utterly shocked by this sudden turn of events. His eyes and mouth gaped open, and his hands trembled uncontrollably. The female demon, watching from the sidelines, was also taken aback by Nezuko's appearance. She mused, that demon slayer's box actually held a girl, but her aura isn't human, she's a demon. Nezuko. Tanjiro, completely unprepared for Nezuko's intervention and the life-threatening attack she had just blocked, cried out in fear and anxiety. Nezuko, having likely suffered significant blood loss from deflecting the attack, fell back into a deep sleep, collapsing onto Tanjiro's chest. Tanjiro immediately caught Nezuko, gently laying her down on a tree trunk. Nezuko. Nezuko. I'm so sorry. Anya can let you protect me again. Tanjiro apologized profusely to the unconscious Nezuko, filled with self-reproach. Tanjiro's attention was completely focused on Nezuko, utterly disregarding lower rank 5. Lower rank 5's entire body trembled, his gaze fixed intensely on Tanjiro and Nezuko. He raised a trembling hand, pointing at Nezuko, and asked in a wavering voice, That woman, is she your sister? So what? You monster. You injured Nezuko like this, it's unforgivable. I'll kill you. Tanjiro raged, his anger blazing. Sister, sister, sister. Lower rank 5 repeated the word incessantly. The female demon, noticing Rue's erratic behavior, called out, Rue, what's wrong? His sister became a demon. Even though she's a demon, they're still together. A sister protecting her brother, that's true kinship. I want it. I want it. I want it. I must have it. Lower rank 5's madness escalated. The female demon, having witnessed Rue's volatile nature and his history of discarding family members, felt a chilling sense of foreboding. If Rue obtained Nezuko as a family member, she would undoubtedly be next to be discarded. Rue, I'm your sister. Please don't abandon me. Please don't leave me. The female demon begged desperately. Shut up. Lower rank 5 roared in furious displeasure, violently lashing out towards the female demon. 3 razor-sharp silk threads shot forth. The threads instantly sliced the female demon into several pieces. The threads then embedded themselves in the ground, creating a massive dust cloud, and nearby trees were severed at their midpoints. This display of power far surpassed his previous attacks on Tanjiro. Even with Nezuko's intervention, Tanjiro would almost certainly have been dismembered had lower rank 5 unleashed this attack earlier. 229, Chapter 229. Tanjiro was horrified by lower rank 5's cruelty, realizing that his so-called family was likely a collection of individuals gathered to fill his emotional void. In the end, you failed your duty. I have no use for such useless trash, lower rank 5 said, his voice laced with displeasure. Why? I've always tried my best to be your sister. Please, let me make amends. The decapitated, female demon, pleaded desperately, attempting to use her sisterly role to bargain for her life. Then go kill those fools wandering around the mountain. Only then will I forgive your earlier failure, lower rank 5 coldly commanded, granting a reprieve due to her past service. I understand. I'll kill them right away. The female demon, trembling, hastily reattached her head and immediately fled, fearing any delay would incur Rue's wrath. Little brother. Let's talk. Lower rank 5 unexpectedly proposed a negotiation with Tanjiro. Tanjiro stared at lower rank 5 in astonishment, unsure of his intentions. I'm moved by you and your sister. Seeing your bond, I'm overcome with emotion, something I can't express. But if I kill you both, it would be a tragedy. However, I have a way to avoid such a tragedy. Give me your sister, and I'll spare your life. Lower rank 5 revealed his plan. Tanjiro instantly refused. What nonsense are you talking about? I'll make your sister my sister, starting today. Lower rank 5 insisted. That's impossible. Nezuko isn't a plaything for your games. She has her own consciousness and feelings. She can never be your sister. Tanjiro adamantly refused. Don't worry, I'll forge a bond. I'm stronger than her, it will be a bond of fear. I'll show her the consequences of defying me, lower rank 5 continued. Tanjiro's anger exploded at lower rank 5's twisted words. You bastard. That's just binding someone with fear. It's not a family bond. You're talking nonsense, and I'll kill you for it. Then I'll kill you and take your sister. Lower rank 5, seeing the negotiation had failed, prepared to eliminate Tanjiro. Before that, I'll cut off your head. Tanjiro removed the fog-bound cedar box from his back, adopting a battle-ready stance. Your spirit is commendable. But can you defeat me? I am a member of the 12 Kizuki. Your survival until now is solely because I haven't chosen to kill you yet. Lower rank 5 sneered at Tanjiro's desperate resolve. 230, Chapter 230. Time passed, and the poison in Zenitsu's body began to take effect. Despite his best efforts using thunder breathing to slow the poison spread, it was only a temporary solution. Becoming a spider was inevitable as long as the poison remained. Breathing is getting harder, and my limbs feel numb, Zenitsu muttered weakly to himself. As Zenitsu's consciousness blurred, he saw a large, beautiful butterfly approaching. He thought, so beautiful. The butterfly transformed into a petite girl, Shinobu Koko, one of the Hashira, who had been searching the western side of Spider Mountain and discovered Zenitsu. Smiling, Shinobu addressed Zenitsu, hello. Are you all right? Zenitsu was unable to speak, only staring at her. Seeing his silence, Shinobu murmured, looks like he can't speak. but you're clever to use breathing to slow the poison spread. She produced a small wooden box, opened it, and drew out a syringe containing an antidote, injecting Zenitsu. There, you're fine now. It'll take a while to recover, though. Your limbs will grow back. Shinobu then surveyed the area, noticing several other injured but salvageable demon slayers. She fired a signal flare into the sky. Stay here and wait for rescue. Members of the Hidden Division will arrive soon. With that, she gracefully departed. After the injection, Zenitsu felt his breathing ease considerably, but he had no chance to thank her. About 10 minutes later, a large group of masked members of the Hidden Division arrived, initiating rescue efforts for the survivors. Meanwhile, after Tanjiro and Inashuk left, Shinichi and Shinji remained vigilant. Shinji excitedly recounted Ryoji's impressive performance during the selection process. For once, Shinichi didn't mind Shinji's boasting about Ryoji. Even if Ryoji had died fighting 2 lower Kazuki, Shinichi acknowledged his genius surpassed even his own Kanurank abilities. As they relaxed their guard, they heard rapid footsteps approaching. They immediately became alert. Suddenly, numerous silk threads erupted from the forest, instantly encasing them in cocoons. No, it's a demon. Shinji cried out in terror from within his silken prison. 231, Chapter 231. Shinji immediately unsheathed his Nichiren blade, attempting to break free from the cocoon, but found it impossible to cut through. The attackers were the female demons, who had barely survived their encounter with lower rank 5. They were desperately trying to complete the task assigned to them, knowing failure meant certain death. After easily encasing Shinichi in silk cocoons, the female demon approached, observing the still pulsating cocoons with a triumphant air. My cocoons are soft yet incredibly strong. Once inside, a dissolving fluid is released, melting away clothing and then your bodies, leaving only nourishment for me. Wow, she muttered to herself, admiring her handiwork. Amazing. I can shoot silk from my hands. But why not just eat the bodies directly? Perhaps I have bad teeth. As the female demon was lost in self-congratulatory musings, Shinobu Koko appeared silently behind her, incredibly close, her next words whispered directly into the demon's ear. Shinobu's sudden presence caused the female demon's expression to freeze, her eyes widening in shock, her body stiffening in terror. Good evening. The moonlight is quite beautiful tonight, Shinobu greeted, her tone pleasant and unthreatening. Overcome with fear, the female demon managed to regain control of her paralyzed body. She leaped forward, creating distance between herself and Shinobu, then spun around, launching a barrage of silk cocoons. A hail of cocoons rained down on Shinobu's position. Shinobu, with incredible agility, effortlessly dodged the attack while simultaneously closing the distance between herself and the demon. Shinobu moved with the grace of a butterfly, her sleeves fluttering like wings in the breeze. Using her superior agility, Shinobu landed on the female demon's stomach, unleashing a series of rapid kicks to her abdomen. She then knocked the demon to the ground and sat down heavily on top of her. If Shinobu had done this to a man, the impact would have been considerable. It seems you're not interested in a friendly conversation, Shinobu remarked, a smile playing on her lips. Seeing herself easily overpowered, the female demon, understanding the formidable strength of her opponent, resorted to her usual tactic of pleading for mercy. Please, wait. Spare my life. I was forced to do this. Disobeying will result in my death. The female demon begged, her voice laced with terror, fear, and desperation. Oh, really? How unfortunate. Let me help you. Then we can be friends. Shinobu responded with a continued smile, offering assistance and suggesting a possible friendship. Why you'll really help me? I'm a demon. The female demon stammered, unable to comprehend the demon slayer's offer. 232, Chapter 232. Yes, but to be friendly, you must first answer a few questions. So, you're so cute, how many people have you eaten? Shinobu smiled even more warmly, her question devoid of any malice. The female demon, after a moment of silence, seemingly gathering her emotions, tears welling in her eyes, reluctantly replied, 5. Those were his orders. I had no choice but to obey. Don't lie, I know the truth. Your cocoon technique was incredibly skillful. You must have eaten over 80 people. Shinobu exposed the lie. I didn't eat that many, only 5. The female demon insisted. I came from the west, little girl, from the west. Shinobu pointed in a direction, offering a subtle clue. I saw many cocoons like those on the western mountain. The people inside were completely dissolved, not a single survivor. Just in that area, there were 14 cocoons, 14 deaths. Not the 5 you mentioned. I'm not angry, I'm simply confirming the accurate death toll. The female demon, unable to comprehend Shinobu's reasoning, questioned, why confirm such a thing? To ensure you receive the appropriate punishment and are reborn. Shinobu replied, a hint of excitement in her voice. Punishment. The female demon still didn't understand. This way, we can become friends. If taking innocent lives goes unpunished, the victims will never rest in peace. Shinobu said, suddenly reaching towards the female demon's face and using her fingers to pry open her eyelids. I'll gouge out your eyeballs, or perhaps slice open your stomach and remove your organs. Shinobu continued, her hand moving towards the female demon's abdomen. I'll administer a punishment commensurate with the number of people you killed. Once you endure the pain, your sins will be forgiven. We'll work together on this. Shinobu's smile intensified with each word. The female demon was terrified by Shinobu's chilling words. Even as a demon, she felt a profound sense of inferiority. She knew that if Shinobu were a demon, she would be far more sadistic than lower rank 5. Don't be afraid. It's fine, you're a demon. You won't die, and there will be no lasting effects. Shinobu, noticing the female demon's fear, excitedly clenched her fists. You insane woman, die. The female demon, finally realizing she'd been cruelly manipulated, Shinobu's offers of help and friendship were complete fabrications, launched a barrage of silk cocoons at Shinobu. The moment the female demon raised her hands, Shinobu, without hesitation, leaped back, creating distance. However, the cocoons still hurtled towards her. 233, Chapter 233. The attack was a premeditated strike. The cocoons shot out with incredible speed, the recoil sending the female demon sprawling across the ground. However, as the cocoons hurtled towards Shinobu, they inexplicably dissolved into a shower of threads mid-air. Shinobu descended gracefully, landing softly. A look of disappointment crossed her face. It seems we can't be friends after all. What a pity, she sighed. The sharp slash of her Nichiren blade being drawn from its scabbard followed. The female demon, having rolled several times, scrambled to her feet and spun around, preparing a counterattack, but Shinobu was nowhere to be seen. She searched frantically, then, guided by instinct, looked upwards. Shinobu, having leaped high into the air, had drawn her Nichiren blade and was descending, aiming a precise downward strike. The attack created a visual illusion for the female demon. She saw countless butterflies descending upon her. As each passed, blood welled up on her forehead, throat, and chest, instantly staining her clothes crimson. In reality, Shinobu moved with blinding speed, passing before the female demon like a streak of light, then rolling to a half-crouch on the ground, having completed her attack. Insect breathing, butterfly dance, caprice. She calmly stated her technique, slowly rising to her feet. Her Nichiren blade was unusual, only the tip and the fuller were sharpened. Upon closer inspection, the lack of a full blade didn't appear to be battle damage but rather a deliberate design choice during its forging. The female demon, finally realizing she was still alive, clutched her bleeding neck, gasping, "My head wasn't cut off." She spun around to face Shinobu, her gaze falling on the peculiar blade, confusion evident on her face. How is that possible? Ah, I see. The small woman's lack of arm strength prevented a clean decapitation, she realized. Then I win. The female demon, emboldened, raised her hands to launch another cocoon attack. But as she did, a sharp pain pierced her heart, and her body began to fail. Her hands trembled uncontrollably. Another searing pain followed, and the female demon clamped her hand over her mouth, but blood still gushed out. Her body began to collapse, her eyes wide open, filled with a dense network of bloodshot capillaries. Her pale skin turned a deep purple, and a suffocating pressure gripped her throat. Her mouth gaped open, emitting desperate, ragged gasps for air. Finally, her body convulsed violently, and she fell to the ground, her death mask a terrifying testament to her demise. 234, Chapter 234. While Tanjiro was completely focused on him, lower rank 5 suddenly flung out his silk threads. Tanjiro, expecting an attack, tense to the extreme. Just as he was about to dodge, he realized the target wasn't him, but Nezuko, lying nearby. He tried to stop it, but it was too late. Overcome with helplessness and self-reproach, he could only scream Nezuko's name, Nezuko. Nezuko was yanked away by the threads and into lower rank 5's arms. He held her by the neck, holding her hostage in front of him, his other hand raised towards Tanjiro, 5 silk threads poised and ready. "Alright, I have her. I've fulfilled my part of the bargain. You're free to go." Though Tanjiro was uncooperative and hostile, lower rank 5, true to his word, intended to spare him. Seeing Nezuko captured, Tanjiro couldn't leave. He stamped his foot and charged at lower rank 5. "I told you, you can go. Since you refuse, I'll kill you." Lower rank 5, irritated by Tanjiro's disobedience, raised his hand. With a flick of his wrist, 5 silk threads shot out like whips towards Tanjiro. Tanjiro, seeing the incoming threads, performed an emergency braking maneuver, digging his heels into the ground, then powerfully thrusting himself backward, his body flat against the earth. One thread narrowly grazed him. He backflipped, landing on one hand, regaining his balance. Looking again, he discovered Nezuko was gone from lower rank 5's grasp. Where did he take Nezuko? Tanjiro demanded, his heart filled with worry and fear. Just then, drops of blood fell onto Tanjiro's broken blade. Looking up, he saw Nezuko suspended in the air, bound by countless silk threads. The threads were incredibly sharp, cutting deep into her delicate skin. The pain roused her from her unconsciousness, and she struggled. "Nezuko!" Tanjiro screamed, his voice raw with anguish. The sight nearly broke him. "You son of a bitch, release Nezuko!" Tanjiro roared, his face contorted with rage, his voice a command. Lower rank 5's actions had ignited Tanjiro's fury. Nezuko was his most vulnerable point. "You're so noisy. It won't kill her, she's a demon." "This is just the beginning of her training," lower rank 5 said dismissively. Tanjiro, consumed by rage and murderous intent, charged again. Lower rank 5 flicked his hand, sending 5 threads towards Tanjiro. Tanjiro dodged frantically, but one thread suddenly changed course, wrapping around his leg. With a sharp tug, he was thrown to the ground. 235, Chapter 235. Before Tanjiro could even rise, lower rank 5 was upon him, delivering a powerful kick to his chin. Tanjiro was sent spinning through the air, before crashing into a tree trunk. Immediately, a torrent of blood gushed from his mouth. As the blood flowed, Tanjiro looked up to see lower rank 5 standing over him, one hand already raised. A brutal punch to the face sent him spinning again. These 2 devastating blows left Tanjiro weak and drained, his earlier rage and killing intent completely gone. He focused intently on regulating his breathing, trying to control the spread of his injuries and mitigate the pain. "Did you really think that getting close would let you cut off my head?" Lower rank 5 taunted, stepping closer. Tanjiro made no attempt to retreat. His strategy was to get close and strike at lower rank 5's neck. Lower rank 5's advance was, therefore, an ideal opportunity. Soon, lower rank 5 was in front of him, spreading his hands. "Very well. I'll give you one chance. Try to cut me." Tanjiro took several deep breaths, regaining his composure as much as possible, then swung his broken blade with all his might at lower rank 5's neck. Lower rank 5 reacted with lightning speed, dodging the attack by turning his head, then countering with a left and right hook to Tanjiro's face. Tanjiro spun again, using the momentum of the spin to swing his blade once more. This time, lower rank 5 didn't dodge. He was fulfilling his promise to give Tanjiro a chance. The broken blade struck lower rank 5's neck, producing only a metallic clang. No matter how hard Tanjiro tried, the blade couldn't even scratch his skin. Lower rank 5 had allowed this precisely because he knew Tanjiro couldn't cut him. His goal was to completely destroy Tanjiro's confidence. "I told you. Your plan was idiotic. My body is far harder than my silk threads. You couldn't even cut through my threads, let alone my neck. Fool." Lower rank 5 then kicked Tanjiro in the stomach, sending him flying over 10 meters. Seeing Tanjiro attacked, Nezuko, suspended in the air by silk threads, struggled violently. Lower rank 5, displeased by her struggle, tightened the threads, cutting deeper into her flesh. Blood spurted out, and Nezuko slowly slipped into unconsciousness from the increased pain. Tanjiro, having tumbled several times before coming to a stop, painfully pushed himself up, kneeling on the ground. This is the power of a lower moon. Truly terrifying. 236, Chapter 236. These lower moons are on a completely different level than the demons I've faced before. Infused with Muzan Kibutsuji's high-concentration blood, they're incredibly powerful. Tanjiro finally understood the vast gulf between himself and Ryaji. It wasn't a small difference, it was as vast as the distance between the peak and the base of a pyramid. Calm down, Tanjiro. This isn't the time for self-doubt. Since lower rank 5 isn't trying to kill you quickly, we need to exploit that. Tanjiro quickly regained his composure. Passed out. She's certainly unique. Different from us, interesting, lower rank 5 murmured, observing the unconscious Nezuko. Having calmed his breathing and centered his mind, Tanjiro decided to try water breathing, form 10, constant flux, to create an opening. Water breathing, 10th form, constant flux. This technique delivers sustained, explosive damage. While the initial attack might be weaker than Form 1, water surface slash, the momentum generated by the body's rotation, combined with the layered rhythmic breathing, increases the damage exponentially with each subsequent strike. Theoretically, the water's momentum can increase indefinitely, but this is limited by the user's physical strength, stamina, and the weapon's durability. Pushing beyond one's physical limits could result in damaged meridians and muscles, or even instant death. Even without physical limitations, the weapon's strength becomes a limiting factor. Excessive power could destroy the weapon itself. Tanjiro had planned to use constant flux against the spider demon, but he never had the chance to build momentum before being knocked out of the fight. Total concentration, water breathing, 10th form, constant flux. Tanjiro assumed his starting stance, initiating the rhythmic breathing of 10th form. He stamped his foot, creating ripples in the surrounding water, then launched himself at lower rank 5 like a bullet. Tanjiro knew lower rank 5 would use silk threads to restrain him, so he planned to strike those threads to build up the water's momentum on his blade, compensating for his lack of strength. Still don't get it. This is futile. Lower rank 5, seeing Tanjiro's unwavering advance, raised his hands, and sharp silk threads lashed out towards him. Tanjiro timed his strike perfectly, slashing at the threads with his broken blade. The sharp, tough threads, though not severed, were deflected by the impact, veering off to the side. Tanjiro twisted, dodging, then countered with another slash at the threads. Each strike sent water droplets flying, the concentrated water momentum building on his blade. He pressed his attack, building momentum and steadily closing the distance to lower rank 5. 3 strikes, 4 strikes. By the 5th strike, the concentrated water momentum on his broken blade had coalesced into a swirling water dragon at the blade's edge. 237, Chapter 237. The water dragon, as if sentient, writhed and twisted with Tanjiro's arm movements, snapping at the approaching silk threads and severing them. I cut it. If I can get close and find an opening to cut his neck, I'll win. Tanjiro exclaimed, overjoyed that the layered power of his attack finally manifested on the 6th strike. Lower rank 5, surprised that Tanjiro had cut his threads, also recognized the technique's nature. He's increasing the blade's power through spinning his body. Time to get serious, lower rank 5 thought. While you surprised me, don't mistake this for my strongest silk. Lower rank 5's pale hands turned blood red, and the silk threads connected to his fingers also turned blood red. Blood Demon Art, Blood Web Prison. Lower rank 5, now serious, unleashed his Blood Demon Art on the charging Tanjiro. With a spread of his hands, a massive, spiderweb-like net instantly surrounded Tanjiro. Farewell, you fool. Lower rank 5 taunted as he began to tighten the blood-red web. Tanjiro watched the web closing in, his newly kindled hope crushed once more. It's over. I can't handle threads of this caliber. As death seemed imminent, time appeared to stand still. Memories of his past flooded Tanjiro's mind. Countless fragments of his life flashed before his eyes, including joyful memories of him and Nezuko playing with their father as children. Standing before his father in this memory, Tanjiro felt a pang of sadness. His father, as if sensing his son's presence across realms, suddenly spoke, Tanjiro, learn to breathe. Regulate your breathing, and become one with the fire. The scene shifted to a vast, snowy expanse, lit by torches. Tanjiro's father danced in the center, performing what looked like a ritual. Tanjiro watched, mesmerized. Then, a woman's voice called out. He saw his mother kneeling beside a young Tanjiro, saying, "Look, Papa is performing the Kagura dance." After finishing the Kagura, his father approached Tanjiro, not the young Tanjiro from the memory, but the adult Tanjiro within the memory. The surrounding scenery then faded away, leaving only Tanjiro's father. It was as though his father had always been present in Tanjiro's spirit, supporting him. Looking at his father, Tanjiro called out, "Papa." His father placed a hand on Tanjiro's shoulder, giving him a gentle pat. "Tanjiro, all I can leave you is the breathing technique of the Kagura and these earrings. I hope you will carry on the fire god's will. You can do it." 238 Chapter 238. Hearing his father speak, Tanjiro embraced the apparition, overjoyed. "Papa, you're not dead." As Tanjiro embraced him, his father's image dissolved. Tanjiro frantically called out into the empty space, "Papa, Papa, where did you go?" Just as Tanjiro's anxiety peaked, his father's voice echoed again, "Tanjiro, there's no time. Get back to the fight." The moment the words faded, Tanjiro's heart jolted, and he was abruptly pulled back to reality. Instantly, he forcefully shifted his breathing, switching from water breathing to the Kagura breathing technique his father had taught him. Fire God Kagura, activate. With the Fire God Kagura activated, the water dragon swirling around his blade transformed into a fiery dragon. Fueled by his father's words and newfound confidence, Tanjiro spun and slashed at the tightening blood-red web. The blood-red web instantly shattered into pieces, the flames from the fire dragon igniting the silk threads. "Thank you, Papa," Tanjiro whispered, his heart filled with gratitude for his father's timely intervention. "But I can't stop now. Forcibly switching from water breathing to Fire God Kagura will leave me paralyzed. Before that happens, I have to cut off lower rank 5's head." Having destroyed the blood web prison, Tanjiro continued his relentless assault. Lower rank 5's face registered shock at Tanjiro's ability to overcome his deadly attack. "This guy, is he ever going to give up?" Lower rank 5, enraged by Tanjiro's unwavering resolve, flung out his hands, creating a dense curtain of blood-red silk threads before Tanjiro. He then launched another barrage of red silk threads at Tanjiro. Tanjiro, empowered by the Fire God Kagura, pressed his attack without hesitation, cutting through the threads in his path. He cut the incoming threads whenever possible. If he couldn't cut them, he didn't perfectly evade them, as that would slow his advance. He chose minor evasive maneuvers to ensure the threads didn't significantly impede his movement. This resulted in numerous cuts from the threads, but thankfully none were life-threatening, nor did they hinder his progress. With this unwavering momentum, Tanjiro quickly closed the distance, coming within 3 paces of lower rank 5. Lower rank 5's expression tightened with alarm. He leaped back to create distance, flinging silk threads at Tanjiro. However, lower rank 5's silk attacks were now ineffective. Tanjiro cut them down instantly. Despite several backward leaps, lower rank 5 couldn't escape Tanjiro's relentless pursuit. With Tanjiro closing in, lower rank 5 knew Tanjiro's broken blade would soon strike his neck. 239 Chapter 239. An opening. Sensing the opening, Tanjiro immediately swung his blade towards lower rank 5's neck. Lower rank 5, anticipating the attack, directed his palm at Tanjiro and unleashed a volley of silk threads. Tanjiro didn't dodge. He knew this was his final chance. Dodging would likely squander this opportunity for a decisive strike. He wouldn't give up, even if it meant they both died. "Even if I die, you're going down with me, you bastard," Tanjiro roared. "Nezuko, your brother needs your help. Wake up. Help your brother. Don't let him die." Sleeping Nezuko felt her mother's voice calling to her. Instantly, she awoke. Nezuko seemed to awaken her blood demon art, using her blood as a catalyst to unleash blood demon art, blood explosion. The silk threads binding Nezuko were instantly coated in her blood. With the activation of blood explosion, the threads ignited and exploded, pink flames spreading rapidly along the threads. Because the threads were connected to lower rank 5, the pink flame spread to him, creating a wall of fire that incinerated the silk threads he'd launched at Tanjiro. Tanjiro swung his Nichiren blade with all his might. The blade sliced through the wall of fire, finally striking lower rank 5's neck. Sparks erupted as the blade met lower rank 5's neck, momentarily halting. Tanjiro couldn't sever lower rank 5's neck on his own. At that precise moment, Nezuko's blood dripped onto the blade and was absorbed. "This is the bond between Nezuko and me. This is the bond of family." Understanding Nezuko's aid, Tanjiro renewed his effort. His blade sliced through lower rank 5's neck, creating a brilliant ring of flame that illuminated the surroundings. Lower rank 5's head was severed and flew away. The ring of flame vanished, as did the fire on the blade. Lower rank 5 and Tanjiro collapsed to the ground. The flames from Nezuko's blood also burned through the threads binding her, and she fell from the air. Tanjiro wanted to reach Nezuko, but he was completely immobile. The forced change in breathing techniques had severely strained his meridians, leaving him incapacitated. 240, Chapter 240. Nezuko. Brother 1. Tanjiro exclaimed, relieved to see Nezuko lying still on the ground. But it was Father's Kagura that saved me. It's a breathing technique passed down in our family, used for the Kagura dance. I don't know why it works like that, but I wouldn't be here without it, Tanjiro thought, remembering his father with gratitude. If it weren't for his father, things would have ended very differently. As Tanjiro struggled to crawl towards Nezuko, a searing pain shot through his body, accompanied by ringing in his ears, dizziness, and blurred vision. It hurt so much. Tanjiro stopped moving, enduring the intense pain, lying still. He was only a few meters from Nezuko, but he couldn't move another inch. Suddenly, a strong scent of demon wafted into his nostrils, instantly making him tense. It wasn't just any demon, it was lower rank 5. Logically, a demon shouldn't retain such a strong scent after decapitation. Could he still be alive? Come to think of it, I didn't smell the scent of a demon turning to ash after death, Tanjiro thought, growing increasingly uneasy. He sensed a presence behind him, but he was too weak to turn around. He could only ask, filled with frustration and confusion, I clearly cut off your head. How is it possible you're still alive? Behind him, lower rank 5's fallen body rose, his head suspended by spider silk. Did you really think you won? What a pathetic fool. Only weaklings like you comfort themselves with such pitiful delusions. I severed my own head with silk threads before you could decapitate me. I've had enough. This time, I'll kill you and your sister. I haven't been this angry in a long time. Lower rank 5 picked up his head and reattached it. Realizing he'd been tricked, Tanjiro gritted his teeth and struggled to crawl forward, enduring the excruciating pain. His inexperience was to blame. He didn't know demons could sever their own necks to survive. Come on, move, get up. With the right breathing technique, fatigue is no obstacle. Father said so. Father wouldn't lie. I can get back up and fight. Tanjiro encouraged himself, focusing on his breathing. I'm curious why the flames didn't burn you. Only I and my threads were burned. Is it because you're her brother? You siblings are truly disgusting. Lower rank 5 finished, his hands clenching and pulling, drawing several thin red threads. He wove them into a small net and unleashed another blood demon art. Blood demon art, thread manipulation. A circular pattern appeared on the ground where Tanjiro lay, and numerous threads erupted from it, encasing him. 241, Chapter 241. The silk threads pulsed rhythmically within the circle. Lower rank 5 tightened the net in his hands, and the threads pressed down on Tanjiro. Water breathing, 13 form, Ju-san no kata. Ryaji, who had been observing from the shadows, intervened. If he hadn't, Tanjiro would have been killed. Ju-san no kata targeted lower rank 5 and his thread cage. Sharp, dense sword energy shattered the silk threads about to strike Tanjiro, and lower rank 5's body was also struck, instantly dismembered. Lower rank 5 likely hadn't experienced being cut to pieces before, as he usually did the dismembering. Ryaji decided to let him experience it firsthand. Just as Ryaji's attack landed, Jiyu Tomioka arrived, leaping over Tanjiro. Jiyu had intended to save Tanjiro, but he was preempted. However, Jiyu was certain it wasn't Shinobu, as Shinobu wasn't known for this type of sword energy attack. Jiyu simply performed a backflip over Tanjiro and landed before him. Was it Senior Ryaji who saved me? Tanjiro, seeing the figure before him, mistook Jiyu for Ryaji. Seeing Jiyu make a dramatic entrance again, Ryaji chuckled helplessly. Upon closer inspection, Tanjiro realized it wasn't Ryaji, though he felt a sense of familiarity. You did well, holding out until I arrived. Jiyu acknowledged Tanjiro before calling out, aren't you going to show yourselves? How long do you intend to hide? Hearing Jiyu's voice, Tanjiro recalled their first encounter 2 years prior. Jiyu's words made Tanjiro look around. Were there others or demons present? Lower rank 5's dismembered body began to regenerate, his rage ignited by Ryaji's attack. Seeing Jiyu, he assumed Jiyu was responsible and roared, "Pesky demon slayer," interfering again. Blood demon art, engraved thread rotation. Lower rank 5 unleashed his strongest blood demon art on Jiyu. Numerous red silk threads coalesced into a massive disc before him, hurtling towards Jiyu. Jiyu could easily dodge, but with Tanjiro incapacitated behind him, he chose not to evade. Instead, he drew his sword and unleashed his self-created technique. Total concentration, water breathing, 11 form, dead calm. In Jiyu's mind, the turbulent river in his spiritual world surged with his breath, an awe-inspiring sight. But when Jiyu's sword tip touched the water's surface, the turbulent waters instantly calmed, only the ripples from his sword remaining. 242, Chapter 242. Even if her head wasn't cut off, don't get too cocky. There are swordsmen like me who use poison to kill their targets. Shinobu said, casually spinning her Nichiren blade. Only she could perform such a dazzling rotation. A normal blade would have sliced her hand to ribbons. The Nichiren blade spun from her right hand to her left, then back to her right, finally settling in her hand as she struck a graceful pose. I'm Shinobu Koko, the insect Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps. Among the Hashira, I'm the only one who can't decapitate demons. But I make poison that kills demons, so it's pretty effective. Shinobu boasted to the deceased, female demon, then realized her mistake. She scratched her head with her left hand. Oops. I forgot you were already dead. You wouldn't have heard me. Ignoring the poisoned, female demon, Shinobu freed the Shinazugawa brothers from their cocoons. Severing the cocoons was a simple task for a Hashira. While strength wasn't her specialty, as one of the 9 Hashira, she was a top-tier demon slayer. Cutting through cocoons was effortless. Emerging from the cocoons, the brothers were completely naked, their clothes having been completely dissolved. This left them flustered before the beautiful Shinobu. Shinobu showed no discomfort, smiling playfully at their awkwardness. Are you all right? Yeah. What about that demon? Is she dead? Why hasn't her body dissipated? Shinazugawa, seeing Shinobu's lack of concern, relaxed, though still covering his private parts. Shinobu replied, don't worry. I used poison extracted from wisteria flowers, so her body won't immediately turn to ash, it will simply rot. Hearing this, Shinazugawa stared at Shinobu in utter shock, his mouth agape. Shinobu, noticing his sudden change in expression, tilted her head. What's wrong? Was there poison in the cocoon's dissolving fluid? Shinazugawa gasped, pointing at Shinobu with a trembling hand. You're the insect Hashira, the one who uses poison to kill demons. He'd heard the rumors about the insect Hashira, one of the 2 famed female Hashira. He never expected to actually meet her. She was even more beautiful than he'd imagined. Yes, I am. What about it? Shinobu still didn't understand his reaction. Shinazugawa, hearing Shinobu confirm her identity, carefully examined her. As a low-ranking Oni-rank slayer, a Hashira was someone he could only dream of meeting. Even Kinu-rank slayers rarely interacted with Hashira, only during critical missions where the Hashira led the team. Such missions were exceedingly rare and often a one-way trip. Meanwhile, Shinazugawa had become completely smitten, staring intently at Shinobu. Shinobu, understanding his reaction, didn't get angry. Instead, she smiled happily. She then produced a signal flare and launched it, instructing the brothers, reinforcements will arrive shortly. Tend to the 2 seriously injured members. I need to find the demon who controlled that female demon. 243, Chapter 243. Tanjiro was surprised to see Jiyu Tomioka use Form 11. He'd assumed that only someone exceptionally gifted like Ryaji could create techniques beyond Form 10. He hadn't expected Jiyu to have developed his own Form 11. However, sensing the difference in their auras, Tanjiro realized their Form 11 techniques were likely entirely different. He wouldn't dare speculate which was superior. Form 11? Makes no difference. My engraved thread rotation will still cut you to pieces. Lower rank 5 sneered. As the blood-red disc of silk threads approached Jiyu, the threads inexplicably snapped and dissipated in mid-air. Jiyu remained motionless, the threads disintegrating as they neared him. A self-created domain technique. Ryaji had already leaped into a tree above Jiyu. Sensing the rhythm of Jiyu's breathing, Ryaji quickly understood the mechanics of Jiyu's Form 11. Ryaji recognized that Jiyu's Form 11, stillness, was purely defensive, lacking any offensive capability. It shared a similarity with his own Form 12, Dark Blade Slaughter, both creating a protective field around the user. However, Dark Blade Slaughter relied primarily on sword energy, while Stillness relied entirely on the water momentum generated by breathing. Furthermore, Dark Blade Slaughter was instantaneous, its protective sword energy lasting only about 3 seconds. Stillness, on the other hand, was sustainable. As long as the attack continued, Jiyu could maintain it, provided the opponent couldn't break through the protective field and inflict real damage. Due to their differing focuses, the techniques manifested differently. To the naked eye, Jiyu appeared unprotected, yet an invisible barrier shielded him. Ryaji, using spiritual perception, detected a dense layer of water momentum forming the protective barrier around Jiyu. What's happening? He didn't do anything, yet the threads near him are breaking. These are my strongest threads. Lower rank 5 was astonished that his attack was completely neutralized. This is ridiculous. Lower rank 5, enraged, prepared to unleash engraved thread rotation again, refusing to believe the same thing would happen twice. But Jiyu moved, stepping towards lower rank 5. At that moment, Ryaji leaped down from the tree, intercepting Jiyu. Hold on. Killing it quickly would be too easy, Ryaji said without looking back. Seeing Ryaji, clad in a blue, water-patterned robe, Jiyu paused, momentarily reminded of his master, Seikanji Urokadake. Lower rank 5, seeing yet another opponent appear, was filled with even greater fury. Because Ryaji had blocked Jiyu, lower rank 5's engraved thread rotation was already reforming. 244, Chapter 244. Die. You irritating pests. Lower rank 5 roared, the reformed engraved thread rotation hurtling towards Ryaji. Ryaji didn't hesitate, activating his demonification. His appearance became demonic, dark purple markings appearing on his face. Then, the demonified Ryaji unleashed a powerful, charged punch at the spinning disk of silk threads. The punch was devastating. A massive explosion erupted upon impact. Lower rank 5's engraved thread rotation was instantly obliterated. The threads weren't simply broken, they were completely annihilated, ceasing to exist. The immense shockwave shattered surrounding trees and sent lower rank 5 flying. Jiyu Tomioka was stunned. If that punch had landed directly on lower rank 5, his body would have been pulverized. Ryaji had activated demonification to unleash his fury on lower rank 5, who had been so cruel to Nezuko. Ryaji intended to inflict tenfold the pain. Though lower rank 5 wasn't directly hit, the powerful shockwave shattered his internal organs. As he flew backward, lower rank 5 tried to get up, but vomited large quantities of blood and pulverized organs. A human would have been instantly killed. But lower rank 5 wasn't human. While the injuries wouldn't be fatal, they inflicted extreme pain unlike anything he'd ever experienced. The pain was far more intense than being dismembered. Lower rank 5 desperately tried to heal and struggled to his feet. Before he could fully recover, Ryaji appeared before him and violently slammed his head into the ground. A complete and utter domination. Lower rank 5 had no chance to escape or resist. Ryaji's inflicted damage far exceeded lower rank 5's regenerative abilities. Unable to recover, lower rank 5 writhed in agony. Jiyu Tomioka, witnessing Ryaji fight for the first time, was surprised by his brutal style. It wasn't a fight, it was a one-sided beating. Fortunately, the victim was a demon, so Jiyu remained calm and unfazed. After slamming lower rank 5's head into the ground, Ryaji pulled it out, grabbed his hair, and lifted him up. After this brutal treatment, lower rank 5 was near death, limp in Ryaji's grasp. Ryaji didn't consider himself cruel. Lower rank 5 was a demon, a direct subordinate of Muzan Kibatsuji, and a member of the 12 Kazuki. Ryaji knew that given time, this demon would recover. After leaving lower rank 5 near death, Ryaji threw him heavily to the ground, like discarding a fish. The impact of lower rank 5's body created large cracks in the earth. 245, Chapter 245. This attack incapacitated lower rank 5. Ryaji stopped attacking, pulled a blood collection tool from his pocket, and inserted it into lower rank 5's chest. After collecting the blood, Ryaji said to Jiyu Tomioka, "Hold this. Consider it your duty as my senior brother." Jiyu, unsure what Ryaji was doing, nonetheless took the tool. After collecting the blood, Ryaji decided to prolong lower rank 5's suffering before killing him. Ryaji drew his Nichiren blade and plunged it into lower rank 5's chest. The blade, contacting lower rank 5's blood, activated its blood-sucking ability, greedily draining his blood. As time passed, lower rank 5 sensed something was wrong and struggled violently, but the Nichiren blade pinned him to the ground. Seeing this, Ryaji immediately punched lower rank 5 in the head, subduing him. Lower rank 5, no longer arrogant, was now terrified of Ryaji. His eyes showed immense fear. "Spare me, father. Please, father." Lower rank 5, seemingly having a mental breakdown, called Ryaji father. Ryaji was surprised. He'd unexpectedly become a father. He slapped lower rank 5 twice. "I've never even touched your mother, how could I have a son like you? Kill me. Don't torture me anymore, you monster." Lower rank 5 yelled. As soon as lower rank 5 finished, Ryaji punched him again. "Behave yourself. Once my blade drains your blood, you can die." But lower rank 5 wouldn't wait for death, attempting self-destruction to escape. The self-destruction didn't harm Ryaji, though the resulting blood splatter covered his face and stained his blue robe red. Ryaji could have dodged, but he didn't want to give lower rank 5 a chance to escape. The explosion's force propelled lower rank 5's head away. Ryaji, seizing the opportunity, immediately pinned lower rank 5's head to the ground. "You bastard!" Lower rank 5 yelled, enraged at his failed plan. Ryaji's actions were partly for vengeance and partly to allow his Nichiren blade to feed. "Since you're so unruly, I'll grant your wish," Ryaji said coldly. A black aura spread from his arm, enveloping lower rank 5's head. "Demonic Devour," Ryaji said. Lower rank 5 let out a blood-curdling scream, which ended as the demonic aura consumed him. Successfully devoured lower rank 5 of the 12 Kazuki. Obtained demonification skill, Spider Thread Manipulation. 246, Chapter 246. Spider Thread Manipulation, Ryaji muttered, testing his new skill. He mimicked Spider-Man from the Marvel movies, striking a pose to shoot webs. Shwoop. A dark purple thread shot from his wrist. It wasn't white, but a dark purple. Ryaji grinned. He could debut as Spider-Man. However, he realized the skill wasn't particularly powerful, it was more for control. Ryaji then deactivated his demonification, retrieved his Nichiren blade from the ground, and sheathed it. The demon blood on his face had been completely absorbed by the demonic energy, only his clothes remained stained. Ryaji turned to Jiyu Tomioka, approaching him. "Long time no see. I never expected you to become my senior brother." "Long time no see," Jiyu replied simply. 2 years had made a significant difference in Ryaji. Ryaji extended his hand towards Jiyu, gesturing for something. "Give me that." Jiyu looked at the collected blood in his hand, returned it to Ryaji, and asked, "Were you going to drink that blood?" Jiyu knew of Ryaji's unique nature, his dependence on demon blood for survival. "No, it's for research. And I wouldn't drink just any demon's blood, I only drink Nezuko's," Ryaji replied briefly. "All right. Let's check on your junior brother, Tanjiro. You, as his senior, should show some concern," Ryaji said, changing the subject. Ryaji walked towards Tanjiro, and Jiyu followed without comment. While Ryaji was overpowering lower rank 5, Tanjiro had crawled to Nezuko's side and embraced her tightly. At that moment, Shinobu Koko dashed towards them, drawing her blade and lunging at Nezuko. Ryaji and Jiyu reacted simultaneously, stepping in front of Nezuko. They drew their Nichiren blades, deflecting Shinobu's attack with an upward parry. Shinobu couldn't withstand the combined force of Ryaji and Jiyu. She backflipped to absorb the impact. As she landed, Ryaji's left hand shot out, swiftly grabbing Shinobu by the neck and pinning her to the ground. His right hand placed his Nichiren blade at her throat. Shinobu was caught completely off guard. Jiyu hadn't anticipated Ryaji's follow-up. Seeing Ryaji subduing Shinobu, Jiyu calmly stated, "She's an ally." 247, Chapter 247. Jiyu's words didn't deter Ryaji, they merely informed him that Shinobu was an ally. Ryaji's expression was cold, his eyes icy. If Shinobu were a demon, he would have already killed her. Nezuko's life was intertwined with Ryaji's. Anyone who threatened her would face his wrath. Jiyu didn't understand Ryaji's protectiveness towards Nezuko, but he knew she was Ryaji's weakness. Jiyu had intervened to prevent Shinobu from provoking Ryaji, fearing the consequences. Jiyu feared Ryaji's anger might lead him to kill Shinobu, knowing Ryaji possessed the power to kill even Jiyu and Shinobu together. Shinobu's expression froze for a few seconds before she smiled. "You're amazing. You actually managed to subdue me. Jiyu, who is this person? He's so cold, just like you. Is he your stepson? By the way, why did you stop me from killing the demon? Shinobu turned to Jiyu. Since you're unaware, let me tell you, don't touch that demon girl. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Ryaji said sternly, his eyes fierce. Shinobu was stunned by Ryaji's domineering words. No one had ever spoken to her so decisively. Tanjiro, seeing Ryaji's fierce protectiveness of Nezuko, felt a warmth in his heart. Shinobu quickly recovered her composure and smiled at Ryaji. Little brother, don't you know demons eat people? As a demon slayer, you should know our duty is to exterminate demons. Don't give me that nonsense. Except for her, kill whoever you want, Ryaji said coldly. Little brother, you're a strange fellow. But you'll make people dislike you, just like Jiyu, Shinobu said, maintaining her smile. I'm not disliked. Jiyu interjected. Shinobu was surprised by Jiyu's statement. Jiyu continued, and he's not my stepson, just my junior brother. That girl is his weakness. I advise you not to harm her, or I can't stop him from killing you. Really? I'm sorry, you didn't know you were disliked. I spoke out of turn, Shinobu apologized. Jiyu was taken aback by Shinobu's words but didn't argue. Little brother, what's your name? Do you know protecting a demon violates core rules? Shinobu continued to press Ryaji. Ryaji remained unmoved, responding disdainfully, don't lecture me. I'll protect whoever I want. If you want to die, just say so. I'll send you to hell right now. 248 Chapter 248 Ryaji's reaction to Shinobu was perfectly normal. When someone tries to kill you, you don't exactly show them courtesy, even if they're a beautiful woman. You're awfully domineering, Shinobu said, somewhat exasperated. She hadn't expected Ryaji to be even more difficult than Jiyu Tomioka. The tension broke when a crow suddenly circled above them, croaking, "Bring Ryaji, Tanjiro, and Nezuko back to headquarters immediately. No mistakes. Bring them back." Ryaji, wearing a blue robe with water patterns, with white hair. Tanjiro, wearing a checkered robe, with a scar on his forehead. Nezuko, a demon girl, with a bamboo muzzle. The crow circled, repeating the instructions. Hearing the crow's instructions, Shinobu stroked Ryaji's hand, smiling. So, your name is Ryaji. It seems I won't die. You have to come back to headquarters with me. Ryaji released Shinobu, stood, and sheathed his Nichiren blade. Though unsure of the Demon Slayer Corps' intentions, Ryaji was prepared for whatever lay ahead. Released, Shinobu stood, brushing off the dirt. Ryaji ignored Shinobu, kneeling to heal Tanjiro and Nezuko using wood breathing. He placed his hands on their backs, steadily infusing them with gentle, life-giving energy. Jiyu and Shinobu were captivated, sensing the potent life force emanating from Ryaji's hands. They'd never seen such an unconventional healing method. Jiyu, did your master teach him that? Why haven't you used it? Shinobu asked. Jiyu shook his head. It's his unique ability, not something he learned from my master. Shinobu agreed. If Ryaji had learned it from his master, she would have known. I like him more and more, Shinobu murmured. Ryaji heard but ignored them, focusing on healing Tanjiro and Nezuko. Nezuko, being a demon, healed quickly. With Ryaji's help, she soon awoke. Ryaji stopped, picked up the cedarwood box Tanjiro had been using, and placed it before Nezuko. Nezuko, rest. I'll handle the rest. Though not related by blood, Nezuko felt a deep affection for Ryaji, like a daughter to a father. Nezuko obeyed, shrinking and entering the box. Ryaji closed the box, activated demonification, and used spider thread manipulation to securely wrap the box in webbing. 249 Chapter 249 The cedarwood box's latch had been broken when Nezuko had made her emergency escape, so to prevent it from opening, Ryaji used his new skill to seal it shut. Whoa, did he just shoot webbing from his hands? Isn't that a demon's ability? Shinobu was startled by Ryaji's display. If Ryaji hadn't smelled human and wasn't Jiyu Tomioka's junior brother, Shinobu would have attacked him, assuming he was a demon in disguise. Jiyu was also surprised but didn't show it. He hadn't interacted much with Ryaji, so he wasn't aware of all his unusual abilities. However, in Jiyu's mind, Ryaji was an anomaly, defying common sense. Anomaly was the only word Jiyu could use to describe him. He's unique. Provoking him was a foolish move, Jiyu said calmly to Shinobu. Ryaji hoisted the cedarwood box onto his back and helped Tanjiro to his feet. Tanjiro, can you walk? Tanjiro attempted to walk, but it was slow and arduous, even with Ryaji's support. Without Ryaji, he could barely stand. Seeing this, Shinobu said to Ryaji, since he can't walk, I'll call for someone to carry him. It'll be easier on him. Ryaji didn't object to Shinobu's offer, though their relationship remained strained. Following Shinobu's signal flare, members of the Hidden Division arrived. Several of the masked members were those Ryaji had saved during the selection process on Mount Fujikazan, who had later joined the Hidden Division. Upon seeing Ryaji, they were excited. He was their savior. Without him, they would have died on Mount Fujikazan. They were also satisfied with their current work and treatment, so they approached him eagerly. Senior Ryaji, you're still alive. We knew someone as strong as you on Mount Fujikazan wouldn't die easily. Yeah. When we heard many members perished on Spider Mountain, we were worried sick about you. What happened to Tanjiro? Is he alright? The hidden members who knew Ryaji crowded around him, excitedly talking. Shinobu was surprised. Ryaji was known within the Hidden Division. Why hadn't she known about him? Ryaji, puzzled, asked, "You know me?" Seeing Ryaji's lack of recognition, they removed their masks, revealing their faces. It's us. We were with you on Mount Fujikazan during the selection. You saved us. 250, Chapter 250. Hearing them, Ryaji understood. Though their faces were unfamiliar, he understood their excitement. It's you. How are you adapting to the Hidden Division? Ryaji asked warmly. It's pretty good. Compared to the frontline members, our lives are much more relaxed, one of the hidden members replied. Senior Ryaji, Tanjiro seems injured. Let us take care of him, another said. Senior Ryaji, are you injured? Let us examine you. Ryaji was overwhelmed by their enthusiasm but politely declined their offer to examine him. He knew his own condition well enough. They then examined Tanjiro, confirming his injuries weren't life-threatening, before placing him on a stretcher. Afterwards, the squad leader reported to Shinobu and Jiyu, inquiring about the next steps. Shinobu looked at Jiyu. Jiyu, you'll handle the final inspection of Spider Mountain. Don't let any escape. I'll take your junior brother down the mountain to rejoin the main force. Jiyu nodded, having no objections. He then swiftly departed. Shinobu turned to Ryaji, waving. Ryaji, come down the mountain with me. Don't make things difficult. You're quite appealing to me, you know. Her voice was loud enough for everyone to hear. The hidden members who knew Ryaji started whispering excitedly. My goodness. Is the insect Hashira confessing to Senior Ryaji? If only I could be liked by a beautiful girl. Senior Ryaji is truly amazing in every way, a perfect example. Hearing their praise, the squad leader leaned in, whispering, who exactly is this Ryaji you're talking about? I've never heard you praise any Hashira before. Ryaji replied to Shinobu, you won't have the chance to make things difficult because you'd already be dead under my blade. Ryaji was implying that if he didn't want to go back to headquarters, he would have already killed her. Shinobu was momentarily stunned, unsure how to respond to Ryaji's threat. His constant talk of killing her was rather frustrating. Ryaji's words sent chills down the spines of the hidden members. He had threatened to kill the insect Hashira. That was incredibly audacious. The Hashira were the Demon Slayer Corps' top fighters. However, they also sensed a conflict between Ryaji and Shinobu.
Every novel listed in the description comes with permanent access to the audiobook on Telegram. You pay once, and if the novel is still ongoing, you'll receive all future updates automatically. No extra cost. Choose your novel from the description, then DM me on Telegram, WhatsApp, or Discord. After payment via PayPal, Ko-Fi, or Patreon, you'll get instant access. Simple, secure, lifetime listening. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Your support means a lot.